unfolding in Ghana. A powerful narrative of hope, resurgence, and visionary leadership is emerging, one that could soon redefine Ghana's place on the global economic map. Know well, former President Johndramanimahama and his renewed vision for Ghana through what is now widely known as the Reset Agenda.
Nothing. When you talk to Nigerian men who actually make money or supposedly make money, you realize a lot of them came into their money through scam. Nigerians wonder why Americans are always breeding billionaires, multimillionaires, breeding them with like innovative ideas, people who own companies who are just billionaires. Because Nigerians only know the basic necessity businesses that exist. They're not innovative when it comes to accepting new ideas.
Do you know that, yes, in the motherland Ghana, currently as we speak, Bill Gates, that we all know, the one and only Bill Gates of the United States of America, is actually partnering and pleading. He's actually pleading to support and partner with the motherland Ghana. Guys, who would have ever thought that Ghana, they used to call ordinary, according to Nigeria, will be the hub and the center of attraction when it comes to growth, success, development as we speak today. You see, never say never, and never underestimate the ability of what a people and a country is capable of. Don't even look down on anyone because you don't even know tomorrow. Whom you see down today will definitely, certainly rise up to the top, and who you see at the top might definitely be below, bottom. Yes, at the bottom. So this life is unpredictable, and this is the situation we are experiencing in the motherland Ghana. The said Nigeria that once said they are the giant of Africa today is nowhere making waves as such in the history of Africa, right? But today, Ghana has become a center of attraction for countries cut across the world and the globe in its entirety. Yes. And today we are going to take a look at what Bill Gates has, come up with, and with the motherland Ghana in the person of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Sir Johndramanimahama. Every details, insight, in depth will be made exposed in this video from one of my brother, MD Black Boy. And we are going to see reactions of all the Nigerians, yes, who are truthful, blunt, and very, very expressive of what they think about, yes, why Nigeria, like I said earlier on, is actually doing badly when it comes to the growth, success, and development in general. The corruption that's eating deep and rotting deep in the system of Nigeria is all exposed in this video. And I will oblige, please kindly watch patiently because we've got lots of interesting, amazing content down here fully packed for you. And hit on the like button as a Ghanaian or non-Ghanaian, as long as you do enjoy it on here. Stay subscribed if this is your first time here. And guys, I will see you at the end of this episode. Let's take a look at these videos.
Mode is the only way of life, while other people are beginning to understand that rather than trying to survive, live and develop. Our ancestors made us to think like animals. Base animals is a shameful thing. That's why I love Ghanaians and South Africans, and I'll keep on saying this.
Headlines are often dominated by crises and contractions. Something extraordinary is quietly unfolding in Ghana. A powerful narrative of hope, resurgence, and visionary leadership is emerging, one that could soon redefine Ghana's place on the global economic map. Know well, former President Johndramanimahama and his renewed vision for Ghana through what is now widely known as the Reset Agenda. A bold and transformative economic recovery blueprint that is already yielding results many would have deemed impossible just a few months ago. And at the heart of this resurgence is not just policy, it's trust, it's confidence. It's the belief of powerful global players who are putting their money, quite literally, where their faith lies. None more notable than Bill Gates himself.
Alright everyone, no put your ideas, make we talk. Time don't reach, rearrange this house to give.
Really, where their faith lies. None more notable than Bill Gates himself. Yes, you heard that right. In what is being described as an astonishing vote of confidence, tech magnate and philanthropist Bill Gates has reportedly announced a $20 billion support contribution to Ghana. That figure, $20 billion, represents around 10% of Gates's entire personal fortune, which he only recently pledged to give away in its entirety to meaningful causes over the next 2 decades. This is not just generosity. This is a resounding statement, a statement that signals to the world that Ghana is no longer just an emerging market. It is now a magnet for transformational investment. But this didn't happen overnight, and it surely didn't happen by chance. According to Dr. Dunspec Ekwao Spio Garbra, a respected Ghanaian statesman, diplomat, and former Minister of Education, this extraordinary moment in Ghana's history is the result of deliberate, credible, and visionary leadership. He calls it the dawn of a new golden age for Ghana, one built on integrity, competence, and a sharp focus on economic and financial recovery. Central to this recovery is President Mahama's Reset Agenda, a focused strategy aimed at rejuvenating Ghana's economy, stabilizing its finances, and restoring hope for millions of citizens. Among its most significant components is the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board, a national institution designed to formalize and capitalize on the country's vast gold resources. Ghana is Africa's top gold producer, and yet for far too long, the wealth beneath its soil has not translated into sustainable prosperity for its people. But now, that seems poised to change. According to Dr. Spio Garbra, the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board is not just an economic policy move. It is symbolic of a larger national awakening. An awakening that is finally seeing Ghana claim its rightful place in the 21st century global economy. And the timing could not be more perfect. The world is watching. Investors are paying attention. In addition to the $20 billion Gates commitment, another staggering sum, $1 billion, has reportedly been mobilized by Honorable Sam George, a member of parliament, from a group of Middle Eastern investors. This is more than a financial boost. This is an endorsement, a loud and clear declaration that Ghana is open for business, and not just any business, but serious, long-term, sustainable development. Dr. Spio Garbra believes this remarkable investor confidence is the result of what he calls an integrity dividend. A concept that goes beyond the usual democracy dividend Ghana has earned over the years through peaceful transfers of political power. He says this new wave of global support recognizes the honesty, transparency, and moral leadership being exercised by President Mahama and his government. In just 6 months since President Mahama assumed office again in January 2025, global perception has shifted dramatically. From being viewed as a struggling economy burdened by external debt and inflation, Ghana is now being recognized as a rising African powerhouse. The narrative is changing, and fast. And this shift is not just taking place in boardrooms or investment circles. It is being felt in international gatherings, conferences, and forums where Africa's future is being actively shaped. One such event was the Pan-African Healthcare Conference and Expo, recently held in Cairo, Egypt. The conference, opened by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, brought together over 5,000 delegates and exhibitors from across the continent and beyond. And among the distinguished voices that captured attention at this event was none other than Dr. Spio Garbra. Representing the Africa Education Trust Fund, he delivered a keynote address that left a powerful impression on delegates. He spoke passionately about the role artificial intelligence can play in addressing Africa's persistent healthcare skills gap. As always, Dr. Spio Garbra's insights bridged policy and technology, showcasing the practical pathways through which African nations can leapfrog traditional barriers and deliver better healthcare outcomes for their people. It's worth noting that the Africa Education Trust Fund, chaired by Dr. Spio Garbra, is itself a trailblazing initiative from the African private sector. With a mission to tackle some of the most entrenched challenges facing education systems across the continent, the AETF is fast becoming a thought leader and catalyst for change. And its roots, in many ways, trace back to the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, which Dr. Spio Garbra helped establish in the year 2000. Today, GET Fund remains one of Ghana's most important educational financing institutions, a living testament to visionary policy at work. But the AETF isn't stopping there. As Ghana surges ahead into the so-called New Golden Age, the Trust Fund has announced plans to host an Africa AI conference in Accra in early November 2025. The conference is expected to gather top minds in tech, policy, health, and education to craft a roadmap for how artificial intelligence can accelerate Africa's development across sectors. This is no longer just talk. This is action. This is leadership. And once again, Ghana is taking center stage. From the reset agenda to landmark investments, from healthcare innovation to education reform, the signs are all pointing in one direction: up. Ghana is not just bouncing back. It is reinventing itself. With a growing recognition of integrity-based governance, strategic policy reforms, and high-profile international endorsements, the country is charting a new path forward, one that the rest of Africa, and indeed the world, would do well to observe. The involvement of figures like Bill Gates in Ghana's development narrative is not only symbolic, it is catalytic. It's the kind of development that can trigger ripple effects across sectors, boosting job creation, improving healthcare delivery, reforming education, and increasing investor confidence tenfold. When an individual of Gates's stature commits such a significant portion of his wealth to a single country, it sends a signal to philanthropists, corporations, and governments across the globe that Ghana is a country where real impact is not only possible, but probable. Of course, none of this should be mistaken for the end of the road. The journey ahead will still demand careful navigation. There will be challenges, but what has changed is the momentum, the belief. The wind is now at Ghana's back, and with continued focus on good governance, transparency, and strategic partnerships, the future is not only bright, it is golden. So, as we watch these developments unfold, from the Reset Agenda's bold reforms to billion-dollar investments to AI-powered healthcare innovations, we are reminded that Ghana's story is still being written. And for now, it's shaping up to be one of the most inspiring chapters in Africa's modern history. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning.
That one is nothing. When you talk to Nigerian men who actually make money or supposedly make money, you realize a lot of them came into their money through scam. Nigerians wonder why Americans are always breeding billionaires, multimillionaires, breeding them. with like innovative ideas, people who own companies who are just billionaires, because Nigerians only know the basic necessity businesses that exist. They're not innovative when it comes to accepting new ideas. The people that have money in Nigeria who are supposed to be the so-called funding the next generation, because that's how America works, right? If you don't know how startups work, I had a fintech startup, right? Now, what you do is you go and raise money and funding. How do you do that? You go to wealthy people around, and you go to pitching parties, and you pitch them your ideas or whatever. And like these executives, wealthy people, they love crazy ideas. That is their focal point, is crazy ideas, things that are out there, things that are innovative, things that are disruptive. Nigerians, our rich men, all they care about is gas. All they care about is shipping. They care about the same things, and then wonder why they are never as wealthy as the Americans. Because you can't be. You don't believe in innovation. You only believe in continuation. You'll hear Nigerian people complain of why their electricity isn't good, power, water, everything. But as soon as they make money, the first thing they go and do is build stupid house. No one's ever thought of, I see all the estates. Let me even use mainland, right? I see all the estates where I live in America. This is what I'm saying. People don't really actually understand how community is. And I realize the Nigerian education system doesn't make a point to actually give a breakdown of how things work. In all these estates that they build, they never build independent power grids. I have an EE degree, as much as I talk. I have 3 engineering degrees, electronics, EE, and computer science. All these estates in Island, mainland, Enugu, wherever, the one thing they actually don't know is there's solar, there's hydro. And right now, they don't even think about all the rich people that build all these estates have never thought about building an independent grid system away from the government grid system that they can easily afford and actually make money off of. They have inverters. Inverters can be used in collaboration with solar panels, even hydro, to power not just one estate, but literally all of mainland. I've literally drawn this up. I have the paperwork to go behind it. For at least 4 houses in the estates, you can build an independent power grid system that can sustain the whole mainland. But they'll go buy Rolls Royce and flex around the neighborhood. Or is it the recyclable, new concrete that you can use to build roads that we have in Nigeria that are made from plastic, rubber, waste, all these amazing companies? But we're still buying Dangote concrete and fighting. The problem is, if I start talking about the solutions to things that are going on in Nigeria, you guys will still not hear me. You won't hear me because it's easier to live in filth and live in poverty than to actually want better. If it wasn't for Black Americans, I, as an African person, wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today in America. So I keep seeing a lot of these comments about how Black Americans relate to my statement about Nigerians don't actually care about Nigerians. They only care about being wealthy to show off to underprivileged Nigerians. That's not how Black Americans operate. Like, I grew up in Nigeria and Black America. The one thing I will tell you about Black Americans, you see how they're into government. They build up their intellect to get into government to try to do better and support their communities, and they fight to support their communities. If you look at how far in 400 years, 500 years, what African Americans have done and the level of they made life, it's not completely equal, but Black Americans have done a good job of fighting for the rights of their fellow Black Americans to have a better life in America. If it wasn't for Black Americans, I, as an African person, wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today in America. If it wasn't for Black Americans, I wouldn't have the opportunities I have today. So I can't really say that, because Black Americans may have their issues, but they have a better sense of community than Africans. I can say for Nigerians, they have a better sense of community, and they enjoy communal, like making sure, I'm not saying that they do it perfectly, but you can tell that they put up a fight for their community. They put up a fight for their community more than Nigerians. Sorry, it hurts, but that's the truth. Literally, that's all Nigerians care about. Flexing on their neighbor, showing off of their neighbor. That's why they'll buy a Mercedes in Nigeria, even though the roads are fucked up, knowing that a Mercedes isn't what you need. And maintenance, you can't afford it. But they'll buy the Mercedes to show the world that I can afford a Mercedes, they can't afford maintenance. They scam to buy LV and pay for IG bitches. Literally, the people in my country only want to get rich so they can continue slavery, modern day slavery. They get rich to insult people, to bully people who are beneath them, to make themselves feel better about their shitty upbringing, their shitty lives. And they don't actually care about a better Nigeria. That's why we live in shit. That's why the world that we live in is shit in Nigeria. They don't ever scam to get money to get roads built, donate to the orphanage, donate to the schools, put in medical systems. They don't care about any of that. That's why I love bleeding them. I take the money and do what they're supposed to do. They literally do not aim to get rich for financial freedom. They aim to get rich for flexibility. Literally.
I did Ghana. Okay, spend day one with me. First things first, I have to get my hair done. If you know, you know, you get your meetings done in Ghana, not before. Next, coconut water, because we have a long day ahead of us. We're doing some apartment hunting. Gotta stay hydrated, so we drank the coconut water in the car, gave the coconut right back so we can get that delicious meat. My favorite, oh my god. Okay, so apartment hunting, I might have to make this a whole separate video because it was a long day. Ciao. Let me know if you want a full Tema apartment hunting video. By the time we finished apartment hunting, it started raining, and y'all, look at this. The tunnel under the Tema motorway, it was flooded. Kind of wild going underneath, but I think it's normal for local folk. Of course, we were hungry after such a long day, so we hit up UFO Burger. Such a cool aesthetic. It's like an alien themed. They have like these UFO shaped burgers. Interesting. Wings, brilliant. I honestly haven't had bad wings in Ghana. Burgers were okay. I think I like the wings better. So yeah, that was our day. Side note, beauty maintenance still isn't done. I obviously have to get these nails done, so stay tuned for my next video to see where I go. Bye.
What if I recorded every day of my life forever? Spend the week with me in Accra. Saturday, we went to run errands, and the craziest thing happened. We were at a stoplight, and this man randomly walked up to our car and tried to open the door. We saw him coming, and my man locked the door, thank God. He literally hopped onto this pickup truck after trying a few more cars, so lock your doors, y'all. After that madness, we went to run a few errands. Then I grabbed sushi at this new spot at Malcolm called Wasabi. The place was cute and quiet, but the service was not the best. I told them no sesame seeds on my sushi because I'm allergic, and they still brought it with sesame seeds. I sent it back, and they just dusted it off and gave it right back, and you can still see the sesame seeds on it. I had to go off at this point. They remade it, and I can't lie, the sushi was good. I also got their salmon fried rice, but it wasn't spicy like I asked for. Sunday was Father's Day. We went to church for a beautiful service. They gave all the men cute hats and took photos together, and I thought that was beautiful. After church, we went to spend time with family. Of course, Sunday means fufu, and I had green soup for the first time and loved it. Then I came home to make goat meat jollof for the week. On Monday, I had a special delivery from Winara Woman. Can't wait to show you that. Then later in the week, we went to Mad Size for dinner with my friends Jojo and Kofi, who were visiting from home, and it was so nice seeing people from home. But y'all, this place deserves its own video. The vibe, the food, the presentation, the views, it was everything. We had lamb chops, and I got the fish and mashed potatoes with chito, and I swear those were the best mashed potatoes I've had in my life. I'm still thinking about this meal. The next day, my nails were crying to get done, so I went back to Oh My Nails because I promised the ladies I was going to come back there. Their service was a 10 out of 10. I went back to almond shape. I don't know why I ever stopped and was doing square. This is my shape. Like, do you see that? Of course, I went to the classic French on my hands and feet. They did such a good job. Since I was nearby, I stopped by House of Cashels to try on a few pieces, and then I was craving a salad, so I checked out Quattro, a new restaurant in the area. The waiter convinced me to try their special drink, and y'all, apparently it was 250 cities. Why didn't he tell me that before I ordered? But this crab avocado and my Caesar salad was so good, and it was definitely a nice place with good vibes. I'd come back. And that was my week. I got so much more to share, so see you in the next vlog.
3 things that surprised me in Ghana. I made a video like this and it got a lot of love, so thank you. And I'm here to share 3 more things that caught me off guard initially about Ghana. In the West, I feel texting is full of extra ha-has, OMGs, emojis. But in Ghana, I feel that texting is straight to the point. You text, hey, how are you? The reply, fine, maybe thanks. Maybe some hearts if it's family, close friends. At first, I thought, wait, did I do something wrong? But no, it's just efficiency. Maybe it's cultural, maybe it's generational, maybe it's just me. But if it happens to you, don't take it personally. One thing I didn't expect is how personalized the service is in Ghana. At a gas station, someone fills your tank. In a store, someone walks you through the entire shopping trip. In the West, we're used to self-service, but in Ghana, it creates more jobs and it makes everyday errands feel like VIP treatment. Accra traffic, unmatched. But what is really unique is the roadside economy. People weave between traffic in Ghana selling everything. Cold drinks, sunglasses, motivational books, snacks, even plungers. It's not something you see in most Western cities, but it's innovation. People in Ghana see a need and create an opportunity. Did any of these surprise you when you first visited Ghana, or do you have some other cultural shocks? Share them in the comments and be sure to follow and share for more Ghana content.
Every Nigerian argue, hey, I go look for you, we'll go fight man to man. Do you know that Ghana have the best education ever? Ghana get the best school for the whole of Africa. Now Ghana, God, Ghana. Ghana have produced quality presidents in the history because of their education. How they play with education. God, Ghana. Do you know Ghana now produced J.K. Rollins, Kufuor, His Excellency Johndramanimahama, and the legendary of all of them, God, Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah na Ghana producer, and they don't produce quality pastors because they went to good school in Ghana. Old Abel, Archbishop Dr. William, Bishop Charles Asnasari. God, my own pastor, Reverend Daniel Korioku, and Agrada did not go to school in Ghana. She went to school in Nigeria. Nigeria, which kind of pastors will they produce? In Daboski, Bahose. For most of people, when they say wedding gown, they say if you wear that gown, you will give birth. God, waiting Nigeria produce as president. Tinubu, Buhari, people may want to kill us. Attack for Ghana, Miriam Masasini.
Yeah.
If you're traveling to Accra, you have to go to Abri. Abri is beautiful. It's up in the mountains, not far from Accra. Take a day trip and step out of Accra and travel to Abri. This is the botanical garden that I'm showing you here. We also went to the wood carving village and to the Tete Kwache cocoa farm. The second part of this visit is in Ada. It's the second day, but I just love the fruit and the vegetables that you're seeing here. You have to stop at these roadside vendors and buy some fruits and vegetables. You will not regret it. Stop.
Just in case you never see Ghana for night. Now Ghana for night it is. Sharp, I mean no sharp. Sharp, I mean no sharp.
Wow. First of all, Big Gates, can we count on you? Can we trust you? Anyways, guys, your thoughts are welcome down there in the comments, just as we've seen and heard according to what is up and trending with Big Gates and the motherland, how they intend to partner to come up with a massive, mind-blowing factory. Yes, down there in the motherland, as explained in details. And guys, we've heard that elaborated in-depth exposition of a Nigerian lady, American based, yes, who think her own opinion and point and postulations are the reasons why Nigeria is the way it is, based on how Nigerians think, their mindset, their actions and inactions. This has really exposed a lot that I would say quite agree with, I resonate with, because this is time to time what I and my brother Chimli always talk about, how Nigerians are focused on making money illegally, criminally mindedly, in criminal ways, just to show off, just to oppress, just to intimidate. You can beat your chest to say that we have been on this exposition. And hearing this again will give you a confirmation that yes, it is a thing, and that is a fact for real. Yes. And as well, we've heard and seen how foreigners who come to Ghana to experience Ghana are sharing their thoughts, their experience down there in the motherland Ghana. And guys, I would say this is of all standard, impressive, and a very massive experience. And I would say kudos to the motherland Ghana, kudos to every Ghanaian citizen, because indeed this has shown and proven beyond every reasonable doubt that Ghana is not what you used to know, not what people used to underrate or commonize. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be the only one talking. I will leave us at this point to share our thoughts down there in the comments. Let's know what you think, and if you find this video quite interesting, please give it a huge and a massive thumbs up. Share this video for more people to see, because these are the kind of things we need to expose to the world out there to see and know. Even our haters needs to see that, right? And stay subscribed. If this is your first time here, please don't make it your last, and I will see you right there in my next one. But for now, do have a lovely, blessed and a peaceful day out there. Ciao ciao.